Okay, it is 6:30 p.m. Welcome, everyone. It is April 9th, 2024, and I will now call this regular meeting of the Coralville City Council to order. Could I have the roll call, please?
Councilmember Knudsen. Here. Vogelzang.
Here.
Quinn.
Present.
Peterson. Here. Goodrich.
Here. All council members are present, as is the mayor, the city clerk, the city administrator, the city attorney, and several other staff in the audience. I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So move.
Moved by Huynh. Could I get a second?
Second.
Second by Peterson. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
The agenda is approved. Next item, I have a proclamation for National Library Week. Whereas libraries offer the opportunity to connect with others, learn new skills, and pursue their passions no matter where they are on life's journey. And whereas libraries have long served as trusted institutions, striving to ensure equitable access to information and services for all members of the community, regardless of race, ethnicity, creed, ability, sexual orientation, gender identity, or socioeconomic status. And whereas libraries adapt to the ever-changing needs of their communities, developing and expanding collections, programs, and services that are as diverse as the populations they serve. And whereas libraries are accessible and inclusive places that promote a sense of local connection, advancing understanding, civic engagement, and shared community goals. And whereas libraries play a pivotal role in economic development by providing resources and support for job seekers, entrepreneurs, and small businesses, thus contributing to local prosperity and growth. And whereas libraries are treasured institutions that preserve our collective heritage and knowledge, providing access to both physical and digital resources for present and future generations. And whereas libraries are an essential public good and fundamental institutions in democratic societies, working to improve society, protect the right to education and literacy, and promote the free exchange of information and ideas for all. And whereas libraries, librarians, and library workers are joining library supporters and advocates across the nation to celebrate National Library Week. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Megan Foster, Mayor of the City of Coralville, proclaim April 7th through 13th as National Library Week. Further, during this week, I encourage all residents to visit the library and celebrate the adventures and opportunities that they unlock for us every day. Signed on this 9th day of April 2024, Megan Foster, Mayor. Okay. And I think we have some folks from the library and the library board here to speak with us this evening. Would you please step up to the mic and introduce yourselves and say a few words?
Hi, my name is Lisa Melliker. I'm the vice president of the library board. And we just wanted to be here tonight to recognize all that the community gives to the library and that we are able to, give back to the community. I grew up in Coralville, going to the library. I'm now getting to experience that as a parent, bringing my daughter to the library, and it's been really eye-opening joining the board and being able to see all of the different community services. And I think Mayor Foster hit it on the head with that, libraries live because they adapt. And what I've been so impressed with our staff and our volunteers and our board and our friends group and everything is how dedicated they are to adapting and serving the Coralville community. So, yeah.
All right, thank you very much. Is there anyone else that would like to speak to us from the library board or? Okay, excellent. Would you like to get a photo? All right, let's do it. You should come up. Yes. All right, you can come right up here. Oh yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, she had to be up here. Yeah. All right. Here you go. Thank you. I'll give that to you. I really appreciate all of your work. Thank you for being here tonight. Okay. All right. Next item, community comments. This is a time for community members to speak to us about items that aren't on the agenda or items that are on the agenda but are not subject to a public hearing. Each speaker will have 5 minutes, and we do reserve the right to adjust both the individual speaking time and the overall comment time based on the number of speakers or any accommodations that a speaker might need. So I see we have one enthusiastic participant coming up to the microphone, getting right in there. Please state your name and where you live and tell us what's on your mind.
Well, that's easy for me to do. My name is Rex Brandstatter, and I live at 2159 Lindcrest Drive. As I review the budget, which I'm not here to talk about the budget except for the following, as I review it, I've kind of noticed that I'm hoping that you've met with the streets department. In my opinion, if you're driving around and investigating areas, older areas of town, 6th Avenue, 7th Avenue, 8th Avenue, 9th Avenue, 6th Street, 7th Street, 8th Street, we've got some real deterioration going on. And hopefully in the budget, there's some homage paid to that. More than likely, your streets people are on top of that. But I think it's been deferred longer than it needs to be. As a matter of fact, if I lived on one of those streets, maybe they've been down here. I don't know. I'm not their shepherd, I guess. But they're rougher than they should be. The disrepair, I think, has been put off far too long. And I just think that maybe that part of town and the older streets are getting, hopefully not a back seat, but hopefully you can pay some attention to those in the budget. So that's why I'm here tonight. So you've got a couple weeks to go on that, and I hope you pay a little attention to that. We'll see you in a couple weeks. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Okay. Is there anyone else that would like to speak to us? Step up to the mic. Sign in. Yeah.
Hi,
and
Mayor
tell us your
and
name.
City Councilor. Hi, staff. My name is Mazahir Saleh. I live in Iowa City, but I'm here with Center for Justice, and I am from Riva. Riva is Refugees and Immigrant Voices for Actions. We are here today to tell you about issues that affected some of Coralville residents, and who are most of them here, but we had to, this is Ramadan for us, and soon 7:30 the people will be breaking the fast, but we decide to come here even though tomorrow is our Eid and we will be preparing for that. That's why I don't see everyone come. But this people, group of people, 16, the residents, few of them, I think maybe 3 to 4 are not Coralville resident, are Iowa City resident, but they receive letter from Section 8 telling them that they has been terminated the lease, the agreement, the contract with the landlord called Jacob Shopke. I hope I pronounce his name right. Difficult last name. They terminated lease, and he owned different kind of like apartment buildings and townhouses, Glenwood Phoenix condo, apartment in Iowa City LLC, Hannes LLC, Jestron LLC, BGGB investment, and Starboard and Jason. And he owned like couples, like many apartments, building or houses. I think the reason that Section 8 terminated the lease is a valid reason, because he's not complying with federal requirement. We understand that. But those people now, they put it really in bad situation. The Section 8 voucher and the market price is off. Coralville is affordable than Iowa City, we know that. And now if you find houses, the voucher for 3-bedroom is $1,700. And the market price for 3-bedroom is almost $2,900. So those people, they're going to be displaced. They have, and they send them like a letter saying that either you sign that you are moving by by July to another building, or otherwise, if you want to stay here, you will be, you no longer Section 8 holder. So we understand they complain from the landlord too. They wish to go out, but they renting for $1,500, $1,400. And that's why the voucher is covered. So now, this is a part of them, they live here by West Fargo, and some of them, they live by like Boston Way, Holiday Road, something like that. So all of them in Coralville, and this is like, a lot of people, they will be displaced. And you know what it comes with moving. So we came, since they are resident of Coralville, we came here to ask you if you can help and assist those residents for moving out cost. And everybody will come and tell you, a lot of people, they would like to speak. So 3 or 4 of them, I will give them chance and we can talk again.
You bet.
Mohammed?
Hi, my name is Muhammad Al Hadi, live in 412 4th Avenue. We are not planned to move before that things happen from Section 8 and Jacob Schwab, and that the moving costs for now, it's more because the lease will end in July 27th, and if we find any other place, we'll start in August 1st. That we have to find a storage for our furniture, hotel for ourselves in those 3 days, and thus, in that time, it will be high expenses, and we're not ready for that yet because we are not planned to move before these things. That's one of the costs. Yeah, we need to consider it also. And yeah, and for our kids also, we have to change the school, everything's, yeah. All right.
All right.
Thank you very
Thank
much
you.
for listening
Yeah,
and
thank you.
understanding.
All right, is there anyone else that would like to speak to us?
Good evening. My name is Ayman Sharif, and I live in 1326 Sweeting Lane in Coralville in here. I'm also the director at the Center for Worker Justice of Eastern Iowa, and I'm speaking about the same problem. This is a serious issue that involves families, children, and people who really with disability, who all of a sudden found themselves facing this situation. They have to move in this heated market, housing market. It is not easy. All of us know that very well. If you are not budgeted to, or if your budget is all of a sudden is changing to something else, and if you are a low income household, then it will be a serious issue for yourself and for this household. We must not forget about those kids. The situation involves changing schools, changing the settings. So all those things are really difficult for those families to encounter. We really pray for the council here to consider this situation in more depth and have a good understanding of how they can be of help to this very large group of people moving together, and just to make sure that they are not ending up as displaced or having, God forbid, any bad situation just because we are not able to help them. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and can you sign in, please? We want to make sure we get all your information. Sure. Yeah. You can come on up. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to speak to us? Yep.
Sorry. That took long.
Hi everyone, my name is Abdel Rahim. I live in 406 4th Avenue in Coralville. I lived in Coralville for almost like 6 years. We have this issue. Mazahir and Ayman and Muhammad, I think they have covered everything. I just need to mention one problem that's I found out that's in the last 2 or 3 weeks when I was looking for a house or for apartment. Most of the landlord, they don't accept Section 8. I think that's a big issue. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Did you sign in? Yeah, make sure you get signed in so we have all your info. Okay, thank you. And is there anyone else that would like to speak to us this evening? Okay, all right. Well, thank you very much. Is anybody, we're all good? Okay, great. Okay, we'll connect. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Okay. And one last call for speakers. All righty then. We will move on to our next agenda item. And the next agenda item is a public hearing on some bonds, or for some bonds. And this is for the financing for the 5th Street improvements from 12th Avenue to 20th Avenue and refinancing several older bonds. So I will start by opening the public hearing on this item. Is there anyone that would like to speak to us about this? Do we have any written comments?
No written.
Okay. I'll close the public hearing, and then we will consider the first resolution.
Resolution determining to proceed with the entering into one or more general obligation essential purpose loan agreements and taking additional action thereon. Introduced for adoption by Councilmember Knutson, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Goodrich. Any questions or discussion on this?
It's not just bonds that we're refinancing, right? We're refinancing some loans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Quite a bit of that money is loans, right?
Any other questions or comments? All right, roll call, please.
Councilmember Vogelsang?
Aye.
Quinn?
Aye.
Peterson?
Aye.
Goodrich?
Aye.
Knutson? Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes. And could I have the next resolution read, please?
Resolution providing for the sale of bonds, setting perimeters for the sale of bonds, approving purchase agreements, official statements, and other related documents, and authorizing the call of outstanding bonds. Introduced for adoption by Councilmember Vogelsang, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Knutson. Questions or comments on this item?
Yeah, I should just comment on your question. 5 million of the 68 million is new, and that's the 5th Street project. Everything else would be refinancing.
Yeah. Taking advantage of our increased valuations mostly. Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? All right, roll call.
Councilmember Quinn?
Aye.
Peterson?
Aye.
Goodrich?
Aye.
Knutson? Aye. Vogelsang? Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes. Next item, transfer of funds. This resolution would give our Director of Finance approval to transfer funds to cover disbursements and to comply with regulatory statutes. Could I have the resolution?
Resolution authorizing the transfer of funds, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Wynn, seconded by. Second.
Seconded by Peterson. Questions or discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Peterson?
Aye.
Goodrich?
Aye.
Knutson? Aye. Vogelsang? Aye. Quinn?
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes. Next item, Oakdale Boulevard Forcemain project. This is for the construction of a new force main from Brown Deer number 4 lift station, and this would connect to an existing gravity trunk sewer. And we will start off with the bid report from City Engineer Scott Larson.
Thank you, Mayor. Back on March 5th, we received 4 bids on this project. The low bid received from Boomerang Corporation was in the amount of $1,397,660. The engineer's estimate was $2,200,000. So the low bid was roughly $800,000 below the engineer's estimate. And so very good numbers, very happy with those results, and we do recommend awarding the project to Boomerang Corp in the amount of $1,397,660. $60, and this is pending notice of funding eligibility by the Iowa Department of Natural Resources.
All right, thank you for that overview. Okay, let's start with the first resolution.
Resolution accepting bids and awarding the contract for Oakdale Boulevard Forcemain project. It's introduced for adoption by Councilmember Peterson, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Quinn. Any questions or discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Councilmember Goodrich?
Aye.
Knutson?
Aye.
Vogelsang?
Aye.
Wynn?
Aye.
Peterson?
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes. And on to the second resolution, please.
Resolution approving the contract and bond documents for the Oakdale Boulevard Forcemain project, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Goodrich, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Vogelsang. Questions or discussion on this item? All right, roll call.
Councilmember Knutson?
Aye.
Vogelsang?
Aye.
Wynn?
Aye.
Peterson?
Aye.
Goodrich?
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes. Next item, sidewalk repair project, and 2023, and this would be for Zone 3. And we will start out with a quotation report from our city engineer, Scott Larson.
Thank you. This time we only received 2 quotations back on April 1st. And the low quotation was from JDM Concrete at $38,340.60. The engineer's estimate was $46,395, so another good bid below the engineer's estimate. And we have a good track record with JDM Concrete on several past years of sidewalk repair programs, so we do recommend awarding Sidewalk Repair Program 2023 Zone 3 to JDM Concrete in the amount of $38,340.60.
All right, thank you. Could I have the resolution?
Resolution accepting quotation and awarding a construction agreement for the Sidewalk Repair Program 2023 Zone 3, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Knutson, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Goodrich. Any questions or discussion on this? I know you had some questions, Mike.
Yeah, I think I got them answered.
Okay,
Thank you. I just wanted to make sure residents get kind of an estimate of what it would cost if we went through the bidding process, and it looks like we do a good job of that. I would be curious, since the bid is under, will they actually end up paying a little less than what they were quoted?
Well, they were given an estimate, not based on their specific quantity. It was just based on a per square foot average based on previous projects. So it was really up to the residents to decide, what they think it was going to cost if they stuck with the city's project or if they went out to get their own quotations.
They pay based on,
So-
question, they pay on the actual, not the estimate.
But the actual
It's
is
less.
coming from this bid.
Right.
Which is less than the engineer's estimate.
Right, so that's what they pay.
So they might end up paying a little less than what we
Yeah.
estimated? Is that fair to say?
Right.
Good. And my other question about this, obviously I haven't had to do it yet, but what percentage of residents repair themselves versus, utilize this
Well,
conglomerate process?
I guess I don't have exact stats for you.
Ballpark.
Experience would say, I would say less than half choose to do it on their own.
I would think so.
I think
Good.
part of the problem is, it's not, unless you have a history of working with a contractor or have somebody in the family or you can do it yourself, it's not always easy to find somebody to give you a quotation. So, but again, we try and emphasize that by combining all these different properties into one single project, you increase the quantity of sidewalk work involved, which is more interesting to contractors like the 2 that bid on this work. And we think that's why it translates into good unit prices. And I'm just going to mention here, based on the bid or the low bids, a single 4-foot by 4-foot, 4-inch thick sidewalk panel, which is typical for most of Coralville, costs around $122.
Yeah. Plus the $50 fee that, I think if I read in that information.
Correct. There's administrative work on our
Yeah,
end.
that seems very reasonable to me.
It is. Yeah, we've had numbers over $200 per panel in the past, so happy to see these numbers.
Yeah.
And you know, I remember in a previous house that I lived, and you know, we've moved since, but one of these, I have had to do it before, actually.
You got the X.
Yes. And it was cheaper to go through the city than it was to, and, you know, to Scott's point, you know, there was some cost efficiency with that.
And you think the information was provided to you?
Oh, yeah. But this was several years ago, but
Sure.
we had all the information we needed to make our decision, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's also the convenience factor for the residents is for sure big time.
Any other questions?
I guess we did make it clear, but maybe could we just state again where Zone 3 is?
Yeah, Zone 3 is north of Interstate 80 and west of 12th Avenue. So
Thank you.
that's a big area, but there's not a lot of residential in that area compared to some of the other zones.
So that's who can be looking forward to communication if they have a need for a sidewalk.
No, that was.
No,
they
that was
were-
last year.
That was last year.
Last
These people,
year.
yeah, and that was, Mike had asked that question
Holy
too.
cat.
So remember, they're just starting this year's program. So this says 2023. So
And so
these are
forth.
people that were notified last year and had all summer to
Yeah.
replace it on their own.
Okay.
Right now,
so
we're
they're-
doing a new section.
Yeah.
And they will have to replace, or we would replace theirs next year.
Very good.
So, yeah, you're always a year behind. So that gives the resident time to do the work.
Does this bid include sidewalks that we're responsible for?
Yep.
Yes.
It does, yeah.
So if a slab is just sunk, it's okay to mud jack it up, right? I mean, without replacement?
Correct. We offer, you know, the option to property owners to come back to us. If you have a sidewalk that has an issue and you think, you know, you or somebody else has an idea of how to fix it, present it to us and we'll either say, yes, it's approved or not. Either way, we go back and check.
Sure.
So, to see if it's done correctly. So, you know, our preference would be not to tear out sidewalk if we don't have to. It's just easier if there's other ways to fix it. But we've also had examples in the past where, you know, there might be like a skim coat of mortar put down to eliminate a trip hazard. Well, that maybe lasts one winter and then it's gone. So we need to do our work to make sure that these repairs last for not the current property owner, but hopefully the next one or two property owners as well.
Any other questions? Okay, roll call.
Councilmember Vogelsang?
Aye.
Wynn?
Aye.
Peterson?
Aye.
Goodrich?
Aye.
Knutson?
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes. Last item, temporary trail easements for the Clear Creek Trail Detour. And this is, we need to create a detour on this trail due to the Clear Creek Stream Bank construction project that will happen this summer on the Clear Creek Trail. So could I have the resolution read, please?
Resolution approving temporary trail easements as part of the Clear Creek Stream Mitigation Bank construction, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Vogelsang, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Wynn. I'll just start by asking, do we have an idea yet of what this detour would look like?
It would be a 6-foot wide gravel path
Okay.
from the track up to West Core Drive. And then you would go on West Core and then you'd come back down another 6-foot path.
All right.
How much does that cost us?
Estimated about 12,000.
And do we know how long that detour gonna be until,
Most of the summer,
so most of the summer?
yeah, because this is the biggest section of work that they need to do.
And residents do get information regarding the detour so that they will know
Yeah.
to use.
We put that out, but then we also put signs on the trail itself too to warn people.
Thank you.
Those are already on there.
Yeah.
It is torn up.
Any other questions? All right, roll call.
Councilmember Wynn,
Aye.
Peterson,
Aye.
Goodrich,
Aye.
Knutson,
Aye.
Vogelsang.
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes. Finally, I would entertain a motion to approve the consent calendar as presented.
Madam Mayor, I would like to ask council to consider motion to approve the consent calendar as presented, A to W.
Moved by Nguyen, could I get a second?
Second.
Seconded by Knutson. Could I have the roll call, please?
Councilmember Peterson,
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Knutson,
Aye.
Vogelsang.
Aye.
Wynn.
Aye.
The consent calendar is approved, all ayes. City Administrator's Report.
Yes, coming up this Sunday is the Fire Department's annual pancake breakfast, and it'll be at Fire Station Number 1 from 7 o'clock to noon, so encourage people to come out. It's a fun event. They'll have all their equipment out, and the volunteers will be there, and it's just a great event for everyone. And then the following Saturday, on April 20th, will be the Fourth Best Basket Auction, and that will be held out at Brown Deer, and encourage people to come out. That's always a fun event as well. This last week, Sherry Proud and I had a chance to meet with the colonel that is in charge of all of the Army Corps of Engineers in the United States. Yeah. And so he was here for a project at the University of Iowa, and his staff wanted to show him a creek project. We had the chance to actually take him there and show him the project in person, and he got to see what we were doing, and I thought it was great to be able to actually show him, he's from DC, what these stream bank programs are about. We got to talk to him a little bit more about the whole process, and then the Army Corps of Engineers staff from Rock Island were here too. And they were very complimentary of the whole process and the project. And there was at least one or a couple of the staff that were a little leery about doing urban stream bank programs. And so, and they spoke very highly of how the project's turning out, and they were enthusiastic. And in fact, now there are a couple of other cities in Iowa that are working on very similar projects, one of which contacted me, Clive, that has a very similar project as us with a trail creek going through most of Clive, and then Decorah is working on one as well. So I think it'll be something that's come very popular, but it was nice to have the actual person in charge from DC to come and see our project here. And then, Scott, if you would just update everybody, next week we're going to go to the next phase of 5th Street and just remind everybody what's involved in that.
So we talked about this before, that we were trying to find a way to accelerate construction on 5th Street. And so we're doing that by splitting Phase 2 into 2 phases, 2A and 2B. Originally, Phase 2 was not going to start until after July 4th. However, with the early construction start with Phase 1, which again is the west end at 20th Avenue, we're adding Phase 2A, which will extend the closure east to just west of 18th Avenue. So the south end of 19th Avenue will be closed off. We're closing the driveway to First Trust Bank and the Starbucks, Papa Murphy's, and AT&T stores, closing their 5th Street driveways. But the 5th Street and 18th Avenue intersection will remain open, as will the Clock Tower Plaza driveway. So it's not a big extension, but we think it'll really pay off once we get past July 4th and jump into Phase 2B, which then closes 18th Avenue and works its way east. And we're keeping our fingers crossed that maybe translates into even a quicker end to the project, maybe towards the end of 2025. So still a long ways to go, but we're taking this first step to try and accelerate construction. So, and I'll just mention again too that our focus right now does remain on reopening 20th Avenue to north-south traffic. Most of the storm sewer work has been completed, and we expect to see the rock subbase for the new street pavement to go down soon. And once that rock subbase goes down, we're pretty much immune to rain. We got slowed down a little bit recently, like a lot of other projects did, but once that rock goes down, we can pave as soon as the weather improves. And so
timetable for opening 20th?
I don't want to pick a week just yet. We're having a meeting this Thursday with the contractor and consultant team, so we'll be trying to pin that down a little bit better.
Awesome. Thank you for that update.
That's it, Mayor.
Okay. Thank you so much. All right. Mayor's report. Two of the items on my list have already been covered. I was going to mention both the pancakes and the basket auction. So I will just I move on, and I think I have to talk about the women's basketball team. Have to. How can you not? So obviously I want to say congrats to them. What an amazing season. What an incredible ride. Amazing that you were runners-up, national runners-up 2 years in a row. Really, really special. And, if you know me well, you know that I am not really a sports person. I'm not. I am an arts and humanities person through and through. But I have to say, I have become a basketball fan, a women's basketball fan now because of the team, and I'm hooked. And that is really special, and I know that I'm not the only one. I know there are a lot of people that have never paid attention, never watched, and now they are big fans of the game. And I think it's so cool because we're in one of those cultural moments where things are changing. We're witnessing the change right now. What we're seeing is a turning point where women's sports are now going to become mainstream. And I think it is just so cool that it all started here. And honestly, I'm not surprised that it all started here, because when you think about the legacy of women's athletics in this community, when you think about the legacy of Dr. Christine Grant, what's happening right now is everything that she hoped for and fought for. And I love that it all is kind of coming full circle with Dr. Grant, and now we're having this big moment with women's sports. And honestly, I think it extends beyond the university, extends all the way here into Coralville. It was the first event that I did right after I was elected mayor. The very first thing I did was I went to the Iowa State Girls Wrestling Tournament in the arena. It was the night that they announced that girls wrestling was going to be sanctioned in the state of Iowa. And that was my very first official duty as mayor, was to be at that event. And, from that, I've seen that grow. That event has grown in the 2 years since we announced it here in Coralville. And we support that. We support women's athletics with volleyball, women's gymnastics, and you never know, maybe there will be the next Caitlin Clark playing in an AAU tournament over in the Green State Family Fieldhouse. So I just think it's all really cool, and it's very exciting that it's happening here and that we get to witness this historic moment. So that's all I have. City Attorney's report?
I have nothing that good.
Okay. All right. Committee and council members report. We'll start down at this end with Councilmember Goodrich.
Oh. Speaking of, I hear people talk about what do we do now that the sports are winding down. There are some fun things at the arena this next week. The Heartlanders are playing their last final game April 13th. And then Mercy Me, Newsboys, and David Leonard are going to be in concert April 18th. So get your tickets. It'll be a fun time. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you. Councilmember Peterson.
again, I don't know how to follow that up, but, you know, I would say something about watch out for motorcycles, but last time I said that, it was cold for
don't.
3 weeks, so
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything again. But no, I just got to wrap up the League of Cities with Rich Vogelsang last Saturday. I had really enjoyed the stuff that they offered to us. You know, I took a lot away from it. So thanks for that opportunity, and I think it'll help me move forward in the seat here and help our citizens. I would like to see what we could find out, you know, more about our constituents that came in tonight that at no fault of their own, it seems like they're getting pushed out of our community, and see what we could do if we could find out who does accept that and what the issues were there, and I don't know. So I would just like to lean on some people to find out what we could do for them. So that's all I have.
Excellent, thank you. Councilmember Nguyen.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So April is Earth Month, and April 22nd is Earth Day. And I know that the city of Coralville have an extended trail system that serve not only Coralville resident, but also resident from neighboring city. There are some invasive species out there that is taking over our woodlands and our natural space. And so in honor of Earth Month and coming up April 22nd, Earth Day, I would ask citizens that if you go out on the trail, pack a black trash bag with you and learn to identify garlic mustard. It's a very, very aggressive, invasive plant. It's mature within 2 years, and when it's flower, it will spread millions of seed all over. We can use some help to maintain our natural area. A place that dear to my heart, which is Camp Cardinal Boulevard right up here, where we have the Rotary camp, where we have a single track now that is very popular with rider, and also very popular with bird watcher and our hiker. So if you go out there, if you see any garlic mustard, pour them roots and all, put them in a black trash bag, and I believe that the city does have a big dumpster by the community garden. It labeled very clearly garlic mustard. Please drop the whole trash bag in there. Do not put them in your compost. Do not put them in your trash, because that will help them spread even more. So please put them in there, and the city will take them to a very, very, very hot place and disintegrate them. So please help us maintain our woodlands by pulling those. And if you don't know what they are, I encourage you to go on some of the hike that I host, and I will show you exactly what they are. And they're actually edible. So if you don't want to put them in the trash, eat them. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Councilmember Vogelsang.
There was a really nice article in the Cedar Rapids Gazette this morning about the e-sports facility going in. It's very, very nice article. The last Thursday, Cherry hosted the community visioning session for the rec center. I was again very impressed with all of the input from the community that you've solicited. It's been a lot of really, really good community input. So my hat's off to you for all the work you've done there. Like Roy said, Saturday we had a session and talked about economic development, community betterment, and strategic planning for communities. It was interesting. And I also want to congratulate the Lady Hawkeyes. They will always be our champions. And it never ceased to amaze me the level of sportsmanship and integrity, the high class that they presented to not to our state, but to the entire world, as far as I'm concerned. The examples that they set for so many people, young young, middle-aged, and old people is just quite remarkable. And it's not just Caitlin. Caitlin gets a lot of the spotlight, but it's the entire team, it's the entire coaching staff. I'm extremely impressed. It's great to be a Hawkeye. I've been contacted by friends from, quite frankly, all over the country, remarking about how they've really gotten into watching Iowa women. In fact, one friend said, "I have a question. Does University of Iowa have a men's basketball team?" You know, not meaning any disrespect, but it was a compliment to the ladies' team. So it was, again, it's great to be a Hawkeye.
All right, thank you. And last but not least, Councilmember Knutson.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just got to add a little bit to both those great stories. Happened to be at the game, both games over the weekend, and we had to maneuver around a little bit. So I got sandwiched between two strangers for the championship game, and I got both their stories. One came down from Alaska with his family, his mother. He flew in, scalped tickets. Grew up in Iowa, but hasn't been here for decades, and he's just a huge fan. And on my left was a guy from New York who had gone to the Albany games, and this is what he told me. He's on TikTok and was, posting videos of Caitlin doing his thing, and apparently he said he made so much money that he quit his job and came to Cleveland to the Final Four. So it really is a worldwide. People are really attracted to that team. On a serious note, I just wanted to pass on a comment from a constituent that we've had that I happen to agree with. I've reached out to Eric Fisher just to start to explore this, but there's been some feedback about a lot of excitement about the single stream recycling. The cans are big, 65 gallons. If you have a tight, garage, it might be tight in there. So I'd encourage staff to explore the option of what we do for garbage, which I think we have a 65 and a 30 or something like that. And if that, 65 gallons of recycling in a week is a lot. I don't know if they all need to be that big. And if there's an option and if the trucks accommodate them, to consider people who might prefer to have the smaller can, if that's a possibility. I'd like to explore that. That's all I have.
Excellent. Thank you. All right. With that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved by Vogelsang, seconded by Goodrich. All in favor, please say aye.
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 We are adjourned. Thank you.